Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today, bringing you guys and gals Berserk, one of the greatest series of all time in general, whether it be anime, manga, television, movie. It is up there across the entire globe, across all of human history. Chapter 343 review. Now, unfortunately, even though Berserk is one of the greatest things of all time, there's a problem here, and that problem is we are going to have to wait for about 4 to 5 months to get the next chapter of Berserk, because according to the end of this chapter, the next chapter is going to come out in the summer of 2016, and Berserk is now back to being an irregular series, which honestly does suck, because yes, we are going to get the upcoming anime project of Guts the Black Swordsman. I mean, the Trolls animated, Ganishka animated. That's going to be awesome. Undeniably awesome. However, we've just hit Elfhelm. This is the place where Casca's fate is going to be decided. Therefore, the main character's fate, Guts, can also be decided in this place through Casca. Whether she's going to be healed in some way, shape, and form by the Elf King, whether she's going to stay there and be protected, be safe in this place, that's also going to be decided here. And the problem is, we have to wait probably at least a year plus for this entire arc to be fleshed out. Even though it took us, 7-8 years for Guts and company to finally get off the fucking boat. So it sucks that we have to wait even more time now in order for us to see what happens to Casca. Therefore, what happens to Guts. And the trade-off, man, it's a heavy price to pay to get to see the Black Swordsman, the stuff after the Golden Age arc animated. That's a heavy price to pay. So, that being said, alright, this chapter is simple and straightforward. Because not only do you have Guts, Serpico, I'm calling Ishidro, Shurka, they basically are the ones that take care of the Scarecrow and the Pumpkin Vine monsters. But also, you have this thing called the Wicker Man come out there, this caged, fiery monster, which contains like the souls of humans as a means of energy. Like, this thing comes straight out of Dante's Inferno. Clearly, it is horrifying. This thing is scary as shit. But Guts does not falter in the slightest. Arm cannon, boom, right through the middle. And I mean, from where he fired, I was like, ooh, man, like that. Yikes, dude. Because like every dude does not want to experience that caliber of pain in that region of the body. I was like, no, oh no. I mean, granted, it's a fire casket thing, but it's figured it looks male, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, when I saw that, I had to hold my genital region. I was like, oh, yikes, no. Me no likey, no. I wasn't ready. Definitely not ready for that. And then, so the guy, of course, the thing goes on his knees, and then Guts just brings down the Dragon Slayer. Yeah. I love the way Guts fights, honestly, because not only does he use tactics in, various ways with his cannon and with the crossbow, and it's not just that, it's the way he fights with the Dragon Slayer sword. Because sometimes, because the sword itself doesn't really make him mobile, but what he does in order to get mobility, and you see in this chapter, when he's fighting against some of the Scarecrows and the Pumpkin Vine monsters, is that he spins. He spins a lot. And it's cool. For some reason, I find it very, very cool. Like, sometimes he uses the cannon as a means of propulsion to torque and spin even faster. It's cool. It's cool as shit. I like it. Because he has to drag along the Dragon Slayer, and then, yeah. And that's the way he rolls. And it's awesome. I love the way he fights. You have Serpico using I forgot what it was called, but like the Feather Wind Sword, the one that allows him to control the wind spirits. Doing the thing like the usual air cuts, and they cut to pieces. Ishidro, he's able to take advantage of the long reach of the Scarecrow monsters, therefore using the fire dagger to set them ablaze. Shurka is able to actually control the gnomes of the earth. and she is able to make them cast this bountiful harvest type of magic ability, to where the pumpkins, they explode, and the scarecrows, they start to grow wheat and they become immobile. So that was pretty cool to see. And you have the magic, you have the witch and wizard kids of Elfhelm. They're kind of confused as like what's going on here, because they can sense magic even though it should be in their minds impossible. Out comes a witch called Morta, and she brings out this thing called the Wicker Man. And the Wicker Man, again, it's like a caged, it has a humanoid shape, it's all cage, and it's fire inside, and the fire is fueled by the lives of humans. So like their spirits, their essence actually fuels it. But again, Guts brings it down in outstanding fashion, and the chapter ends. So it's a very simple, straightforward chapter. The overall pacing, not that much to it. You have the character introduction of Morta. You have this thing called the Wicker Man, which apparently was forbidden, but is now done. It's not coming. Its head was split open. It's done. I don't see it coming back. If it is, I'm shocked. But that's done. Then, of course, you have some characterization and character introduction with Morta, and I would say that we get to see that she is like a little bit of a rebel, I suppose, because she brung out something that was forbidden. But she's like, well, it's used to kill people, so let's just use it. Why not? And you have the other wizards that are far more obedient to, I guess, the rules of Elfhelm. You have some for Shurka, who of course is being very useful. So like we're probably going to see a lot of magic versus magic here in this particular arc. Guts is the same old, Sharpiko's the same old, Ishidro's the same old. Isma, she did grab like a pumpkin head, she was slamming it down. The mustache knight dude, it's like the same thing. So it's like the same thing, relatively speaking. The only thing big for character was just Morta, her introduction, and a little bit about her, how she's like a rebel. And that's really it. Story progression wise, we made no real leaps in story. It's just the enemies at this point in time are probably defeated, and now we should be going deeper into Elfhelm. Like, we're gonna maybe have the wizard kids talk to Guts and company, have more to maybe talk to them, who they are. Maybe them seeing Puck and the other elf girl, I forgot what her name was. Maybe them seeing those two, they may realize, oh, hold on, these guys aren't actually bad. They're probably folks that want to see our king, something like that. So, that being said, overall, the chapter I thought was a good chapter. Nothing too big, nothing too crazy, with the exception of the Wicker Man and Guts taking it out. And that's really it. So it's overall a good chapter, Berserk. And I hate to say it, but I wanted a little bit more, knowing that the next chapter is going to come out 4 or 5 months from now. Which, again, sucks. And this arc is very important to the overall story. Because I'm pretty sure that the Elf King of Elfhelm was regarded to be on the same tier as the God Hand, perhaps? Because there are various gods. We know that there are the gods of the elements. There is the fire one, the wind one, the earth one, and the water one. Those 4 at least. Then there are variant other deities based off of those gods. Then there's the God Hand, including Femto Griffith. Then you have the King of Elfhelm, who is regarded to be like in that same bracket. And then, I mean, even though technically it's not part of the story, because Kentaro Miura didn't, because he said that it was a mistake on his part, but the idea of evil is also, like, he's above all of them. He's like the de facto god, if you would. But again, the idea of evil, according to Miura, was a mistake. So we have to kind of disregard it, but at the same time, it did exist in the story. So the Elf King is very important, and I want to get to that, but it's going to take us a long time to get there. So overall, the chapter is good, and I will see you guys and gals within like a 5 to 4 month time period, unless the animation project comes out early. Because, listen, I'm obviously going to review it. When that thing comes out, I'm on that. Like a hawk on hand. Like, I'm on that. No doubt about it. So, I'll see you then, and if not, I'll see you for the next chapter of Berserk. So, King Lightning, and for some news related to the anime project, or any other Berserk-related news. So, King Lightning, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice goddamn day.